So, you read that title. Could Vlad von Carstein conquer Middle-earth? Or at the very least, not so much as conquer all of it, but like a good chunk of it. So let's talk about it. This isn't the first time I've done Warhammer Fantasy with Middle-earth characters. It ain't gonna be the last time either, let's be real. But, you know, hey, I haven't done anything with Warhammer Vampires yet. I've done stuff with Skaven. I've done stuff with the other characters. I have done just shit tons of others, but I haven't done anything with the vampires yet, which kind of sucks because I really like the vampire. I really dig vampires. It really kind of the Skaven are my top tier, like my favorite faction in Warhammer Fantasy / Age of Sigmar. I just kind of lumped the two things together. But if I was to say, like, my favorites, beside that, it'd be Tomb Kings, and it's either going to be Lizardmen or Vampires following for factions. But yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about, could the greatest of all vampire lords, don't come at me with Manfred, he's a cunt, so let's talk about that. Like, let's talk about, could Vlad von Carstein conquer the world of Middle-earth? So the big thing is, most vampires in Warhammer Fantasy are much different from vampires you would see in most places. Vlad himself is a ancient necromancer who learns his necromancy directly from Nagash. Although in some places they do say he also learned from what's her name? The other I forgot her name. Leader of the Lamia clan. But yeah, her. But mainly it was Nagash. He did learn necromancy from Nagash. You know, the god of the death, and god of death, and Sigmar's biggest thorn in his side. The list goes on. But Vlad von Carstein was also had a brilliant tactical mind. He was a great strategist. He was also an excellent swordsman, sorcerer, and necromancer. He also had a real he was really good at leading an army. And namely, that army was undead. Because here's the thing with being undead. You can kind of take over anything you want, because no matter how many soldiers you lose, you can just bring them back, and you can bring back the soldiers that you killed on the other side as well. So let's say Vlad von Carstein and Sylvania was in Middle-earth, and von Carstein decided, you know what? I want to rule. And Vlad takes his army out in the events of Lord of the Rings. Like, he just decided during all this chaos with Mordor and Isengard and everything else, he decided to be the third pain in the ass. So Vlad's now at war, marching his armies out of Sylvania in this scenario and marching into Middle-earth to take what's rightfully his, or what he thinks is rightfully his. Now the big question is, would he ally with Saruman and Sauron? That's a big let's answer that question right out the gate. Would Vlad von Carstein actually ally himself with the twin tower, or with the two towers? I'm going to say no. I don't think he would. He would not Vlad von Carstein is a very prideful person. He is not anyone's bitch. So he's going to look at Saruman and Sauron and be like, when they send orcs to be like, hey, you hook up with us, you'll get a piece of the pie. And Vlad's going to be like, I don't want a piece, bitch. I want the whole damn plate. So Vlad's not going to team up with either Saruman or Sauron. He's going to be like, I'm going to send a message and tell them no. And that message is he's going to send their heads back, or he's going to send them back as shambling corpses and, give the message through them. Either way, Vlad is in no way, shape, or form going to bend the knee to either of them. So he's just going to be a third dark faction at war. That doesn't mean he's going to be allying himself with Gondor or Rohan or any of the elven factions. He's after everybody. And like I said, given if this was a war, since this is set during the events of Lord of the Rings, we already have a war going on, and now you have an army of vampires, ghouls, banshees, zombies, anything, and there's a lot of death in this war already between Middle Earth and the forces of Mordor. There's a huge battle going on already, and the dead pile up, and who do the dead belong to? The vampire lords. And yeah, Vlad, like I said, master necromancer, and could just bring them back to his will. Could he? Now, here's another question I'm going to bring up, and a hypothetical one. Could he go to Dunharrow and bend the Dunharrow king and his ghost army to his will? Could Vlad do that? I'm going to say yes. I think he would actually go to Dunharrow, face the Dunharrow king, and even though he doesn't have the sword, he's still going to make him bend, because Vlad had the ability, not just because he was a necromancer, but because he had the magic and the necromancy know-how to bend rogue spirits to his will. We saw, there are several instances where Vlad, and yes, Manfred was capable of this too, but still, Manfred's a cunt, so, moving on. Vlad was more than capable of bending ghosts and fallen spirits, whether they be good souls or not, to his will. So he's just gonna oh, hello, army of ghosts, thank you for standing in line, you all work for me now. Oh, we don't, nope, magic. So yeah, when Aragorn goes to go to get help for the Return of the King, he's gonna find that space just empty. Because Vlad's going to be adding to the army as it is. And like I said, dwarf, elf, human, orc, anything that Vlad can kill or has already died, Vlad can just bring back again. Vlad would definitely also... Vlad knows an opportunity when it strikes. So if he's marching into war, if Vlad von Carstein is marching into a war that's already going on, he's going to be picking off villages, countrysides that are weak or undefended. He's going to go into the mines that the dwarves are hiding in and just start slaughtering them. He's going to go to Rivendell, just as the elves are leaving Rivendell to go back to their continent. Yeah, he's just going to go there. He's going to, no doubt in my mind, Vlad would see the opportunity that the elves are packing their shit and leaving Rivendell, and be like, oh, it's free real estate. So, I could totally see Vlad launching an attack in the midst of them leaving, in caravans, and cutting them off, just so he could enslave Elrond to his will when he kills him, if he could kill him. And can Vlad die? No, as long as he's got his ring. Yeah, he can't die. You can't kill him. Now, of course, you could just cut off his hand or steal his ring, but still, good luck trying to do that. You already got problems with one ring already. Have fun with the other ring. And would Vlad be stupid enough to bend to take Sauron's ring and add it to himself? I think, here's the thing. I'm going to say yes on that one. If he ever found, him or his forces ever found Frodo, he probably would, because no one was capable, not even no person could, unless your name is Samwise Gamgee, of course, no person could resist the will of the One Ring. So even Vlad would be like, whoop. Yeah, he's not even, but even, I might even say he'd take off his ring and put that ring on there. Or just put both and just start the Infinity Rings or some shit. So, Vlad would Vlad be beatable? Yes, but in a time of crisis already, where Gondor and Rohan are already fighting at their to their limit against Mordor and Isengard, it's just going to get worse if Vlad von Carstein decided, you know what, I want to rule. And Mordor and Isengard on that same standpoint. On that same standpoint, Isengard and Mordor now have to reallocate forces to battle Vlad and his army. And Vlad is going to be there, taking the dead and just adding to his own. That's going to be a problem. Now, could he beat Sauron in his castle form, or Saruman or Gandalf? That's a discussion for something else entirely. I'm just talking about, could Vlad actually get away with conquering Middle-earth? He's got a shot, especially in the times of those dark times of Lord of the Rings. He's got a legit shot of at least taking a good chunk of the continent for himself. The Age of Man would definitely be over, since they're fighting Isengard, Mordor, and now the forces of Sylvania. So, the Age of Man's fucked, and then it's just gonna... I could just see at the end of it Vlad waging war against Mordor for complete control of the world. So yeah, but you guys tell me in the comments below, do you think Vlad von Carstein could conquer Middle-earth? Just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse. Oh, and don't forget, Manfred von Carstein is a cunt.